Hello, my name is Shelley Swab. I am one of the nutrition providers here at Vitality Health Matrix. And we are finishing up an entire month around intimacy, botanicals, sexual health, and those types of things. And I wanted to make space tonight for something that's very important when it comes to helping to improve libido, and that's making space for creating desire and for desire to happen, for intimacy to happen. And it goes hand in hand with botanical medicine because one of the beautiful things about botanical medicine is that it is rich with rituals and ceremonies and the types of things that take time. And one of the things I wanted to introduce you to is the idea of using teas to help make space, calm your nervous system, and create a ritual to help you to become more in touch with your desire, with your energy, those types of things to make room for it. Because we can take all the stimulants and libido enhancers and things that we can get our hands on, and sometimes it's just they're not going to be able to do the trick because as women, especially, we need more time. Women need to feel safe. They need to feel comfortable. They need to feel taken care of in order to get in touch with the space that allows the libido to thrive. So let me introduce you to a couple of my favorite teas, and we'll talk about some of the things you can do to help calm your system down when you are hoping to create some more space for intimacy. Now, first things first, you need to be doing this for yourself, not for anyone else. Obviously, maybe a lot of us have husbands or have been raised in cultures where the expectation is that it's for him, and that immediately shuts down desire. So, if that is what you're doing this for, then have to give yourself a little bit of time. Take some time to do some work around figuring out what you really want, what helps you feel safe and comfortable and loved, and recognize that this is something that is designed to help you feel loved as well. And that can be a hard space to be in if you're a mom and a wife and you work full time and all the things that so many of us have on our plates, and then all of a sudden need to show up and feel like we need to do this too. We're not going to have any desire for it. But let's pretend that you're in a space where you really want to make some space to feel ready and open for intimacy and physical time. Um, the first thing that I would love you to do is make sure that you have something really fun to make your tea in. Sometimes it's a really fabulous teapot. I've got a couple of really fun ones tonight. I'm not going to use that because I'm going to show you some of my easy grab and go tea bags that you can pick up anywhere, because I'm assuming that you may not have a whole bunch of loose leaf tea around. I love loose leaf tea and we'll prefer that over a tea bag any day, but let's talk about a fun thing to make your tea, and that makes it even better. So I'll show you my two favorite cups. I'm a mushroom girl. If you haven't noticed, as an herbalist, it's kind of a thing. This is one of my favorite ones that I was given as a gift. I love it. I use it for all sorts of things, but it is a fabulous teacup because it comes with a steeper already. So you want something to put on top. And I use this every day. I wash it a couple of times a day because it's so fun to use. So much more fun than just putting a plate over the top of my cup when I'm making tea. And the other one that I have that I love is another little mug that, again, for me. And guess what? It works on top of this one too. So I love this one for my matcha and my I drink a lot of mud water and kind of those milk teas in the morning to get going. All right, so let me show you a couple of my favorite teas. I'm going to be using a lot of things from Puka Herbs because they do a really good job of. So one of the big things we've learned is that a lot of tea bags are sources of massive amounts of microplastics. And, I don't want to be making anybody feel a little bit crazy or any more crazy than we already are, because there's so many things we have to watch out for. But tea bags tend to bring a lot of microplastics into our system. And so there are some companies out there that have been aware of this for some time, and they use fabric, they use cloth, they use cotton tea bags, and they've been tested. They are third-party tested regularly, and we see that they have very little to almost zero microplastics in the tea, which is huge. Puka Herbs is one of those. Now, they were bought a few years ago by Lipton. They were still being run by Puka, and so things may change, so keep your eye on that. But this is a really fun one. It's only available usually in January and February. So if you find it, order it because it won't be back until next year. But this is their Love Blend. It is rose, chamomile, and lavender. And I adore this blend. And this is something you can make on your own if you have loose leaf tea, because rose leaves or rose petals are easy to come by. You want the pink or the red, you want the wild rose leaf petals. They're considered a heart invigorator. They are, they have a teeny tiny bit of caffeine in it, but I have not ever had anybody tell me that they're not enough because it's a full herb. I find that people don't really react to it. It's got just a teeny tiny bit. It's not even like green tea or white tea type. It's like just a teeny tiny bit, but it's considered a heart um, stimulant, not a stimulant, a heart invigorator, one to help just lighten and move the heart and the blood and nourish. And we also know that it's great for the skin. It's full of antioxidants. And then we've got chamomile, and chamomile is such an overlooked herb. It's been, because it's one that we often give to children, we think that maybe it's not good for adults, and it is amazing for adults. Now, I told you that we're going to talk about, like, I'm showing you a really good one that comes in a tea bag that you can use. But if you ever have access to an herb shop where you can pick up fresh, freshly dried or loose leaf chamomile, it will change your life. It is so good. I grow it and then order it from other growers because I can't ever grow enough to keep up with the demand. But it is such a beautiful herb. It's really high in minerals. It's actually got a pretty good source of calcium in it. It's a grounding herb, so it really helps with the nervous system. It's wonderful for the GI system. A lot of people think it's sedative because it's used often for sleep, but it's not necessarily a sedative as much as it's a nervine calmer. So it's a nervous system calmer. It's a beautiful herb that I would highly recommend, and it's great for digestion. I think I mentioned that, but it's one that you could take if you're struggling with indigestion or in preparation for big meals or those types of things. It's wonderful. And then lavender. And lavender is also considered a nervine, which means that it helps to calm the nervous system. It has a lot of great research around its ability to help with anxiety and to help with improved sleep. So it's one that I'd love you to consider. It's called Love. This is, you can tell I use these. This one is one that I will talk about over and over again until I'm blue in the face. And it's one that, if again, it's like chamomile. If you can find loose leaf, good quality loose leaf Tulsi or holy basil, you'll never go back. It's so good. But I don't always have access to it. I grow a ton of it. It grows beautifully here in the summer. I'm in the Mountain West states, so our winters are pretty harsh. And this is a really, this is an herb that doesn't survive the winter. I bring it in and try and keep it growing, but it always dies because we don't get enough sun here. But she's considered the queen of herbs. And if we're going to make a tea that's going to help us calm down, help to clear congestion, help to calm the nervous system, improve sleep, it acts as an adaptogen, meaning that it's going to help with that stress response. So you can take it any time of the day. It's a wonderful herb to help with if your cortisol is too high in the morning or too high in the evening. It's also one to help just kind of get you going. It's just got so many gentle properties, and it's also got some great immune supportive properties as well. This is one of those, when you look at all of the things in an herbal monograph, meaning that like the German Commission has, because herbs are considered medications in Germany and in much of Europe. And so there are entire monographs and things on how to use these herbs and what they're good for. And this is one that you look at and you think it cannot be good for all these things, because it really is. It's wonderful for colds and flu. It's wonderful for congestion. It's wonderful for sleep. And it has research around all the different benefits around it as well. So because it has so many antioxidants in it, it has so many polyphenols, and it acts as an adaptogen. It helps the body to better manage stress, basically. It can do all those things, and it tastes beautiful. So this one is called Toast. I think it's called Tulsi Clarity. I think it has 3 different types of holy basil. There are a couple of different types of basil, and we'll go into that. We'll do another night on botanicals and talk more explicitly about that. But this is a beautiful one. You can find a couple of other brands carry this one. But again, this one, traditional medicinals, is also a good one when it comes to making sure that you've got tea bags that don't have plastic in it. And then this one is another one that I want to introduce you to, because liver health is something we don't talk enough about, and we don't do enough for, and we don't realize that, like, the liver, when the liver is healthy and when the liver is running well, then so many other things work so much better, because the liver's job is multifaceted. We consider it the general in Chinese medicine and in different traditional forms of looking at the body, the liver really is the one who gives that marching orders. And we know that when it comes to fat burn, we have to clear the liver out. We have to clean some of those glycogen stores out because the liver is going to store excess glucose. It's going to store toxins because its job is to take those things. Once the blood brings them back from the organ systems, it's going to take it to the liver, and the liver's job is to begin that process of detox. And so the liver is constantly under a lot of pressure to get a lot of things done to keep us running. And the more we can do to help support those different phases of detox, keeping those bowels moving, keeping our cells healthy, making sure we're nourished, those types of things can go a long way to helping us lose weight, support libido, support sleep, support nervous system, and all those types of things. So this is one of my favorite teas to help support the liver. It's delicious. This one is from the Republic of Tea. So this is another one that has done a really good job of having their tea bags tested. They're really fun. They're a little bit different tea bags than what we see in, at least what I generally see. So I'll show you this because I love it, and I'm going to make myself some. And honestly, you could mix and match all of these together if you wanted to. So this one has milk thistle. Milk thistle we talked about when it came to liver in January. So go back and look that one up. And I believe it also has a little bit of vanilla. It smells so good. And it has both, and it has dandelion as well. And dandelion, maybe it's just dandelion. No, this isn't milk thistle. I apologize. This is dandelion. So dandelion so go back and look at the milk thistle one in January. But dandelion is considered a nourishing detoxifier. And this has both dandelion leaf and dandelion root, and they do different things. The dandelion leaf acts as it helps you to get rid of excess water. It's a bit of an astringent, so it's going to help clear out the lymphatic system. And then the dandelion root is the one that's really nourishing and helps to open up detox pathways. It's just like milk thistle, so it's very nourishing to the liver, and it helps to support the immune system, and it gives the liver many of the different antioxidants, polyphenols, nutrients that it needs in order for all those detox pathway processes to work. Because if we were to look at the cellular piece of detox, which needs to be happening all day, every day, it requires minerals, nutrients, vitamins, those types of things that come from our food. And if we aren't taking in enough of those types of things, then our detox pathways get backed up, which is why things like juice cleanses get so much press, because people will, all of a sudden be juicing all these vegetables and all these things that they aren't normally eating. And they do feel better usually for a couple of days. And it's not sustainable though. Like we need to be eating food all the time. And you can't keep up your workouts and all those things if you're drinking juice exclusively all the time. But we can add tea to our ritual, and you can do this day or night. So let me show you the little tea, this fun little tea bag. So it's round, it fits beautifully in my cup. And these other ones have they're just traditional tea bags. And so they come in the little container, and you can open them up, and they have they're square, and they sit in your cup, and you have the little tag at the end. So I'm going to add my water. I love having a kettle to make sure my water heats up super fast and it's one more thing that helps me get to my tea in, because I don't get distracted because I have to go start water on the stove or anything like that. And then one of the other big things about making tea is that it takes time. Even if you're making a blended tea, something with powders and those types of things, you still want to let it sit for a little bit. Doesn't need to as much, but when we're doing something where we're taking a root, or we're taking, especially a root, roots usually need a little bit longer to steep. Flowers, leaves, those types of things take about 5 minutes to steep, and roots we want about 10 minutes. And during that time, that's the time that we can begin our ritual piece of slowing down, putting on some meditations. We have some great ones here in the app. Some of the other things that I love are breath work. And one of the few things that directly impacts our stress levels, our cortisol levels, is our breath, which is the coolest thing, right? Breathing in and breathing out, simple things like box breathing. So thinking about a box and breathing in, holding it, and breathing out, and breathing in, holding it, breathing out, holding it is a great way to calm your nervous system down. And then you can expand that box into a rectangle. And so we're breathing in, we're holding it, and then we want to breathe out longer than we breathed in. So if we're breathing in longer than we breathe out, then we're creating more anxiety in the body. But if we breathe in, hold it, breathe out, spit, and then stop, and then hold, then breathe in again, hold it, breathe out longer than you breathe in. And that helps to calm your nervous system. There's lots of different ways that you can do that. And there's some fun things you can look up online where you can follow a ball or those types of things. I'm happy to talk more about that in a future session with you if you'd like. But taking the time while you're letting this tea steep to take care of you, wash your face, put lotion on your hands, get changed into something more comfortable, do some breathing exercises, read some poetry, and take some time to take care of you. That's one of the beautiful things about botanicals is that you can't rush them and they don't want you to be rushed either. And in so doing, we can make space for that safety and that calmness and all those things that need to come about in order for you to even begin to feel some of that libido and desire and those types of things that many women struggle with as they get older and busier and more stressed. So I'm not going to keep you until this is done, but rest assured it's delicious. I wish you were here with me and I could share it with you. A little hint of vanilla with some dandelion is a great way for me to end my day. And I hope that you'll take some time to do the same. I would love to answer any questions you have. You can pop them in the chat. And until next time, be well.